Hello, everybody. Adam here with a review of week one of 50/20. So, what I would like to do is go through a couple of aspects of the subject that I've been blown away with already, and just to sort of also show you that everybody's on track and that you're already making really good headway with what is not a sort of a simple subject. There are various complexities in it, especially those of a cerebral nature. But you've already shown that there's some really good thinking happening, which is great. So if I just jump into module one, much of this first week has been, in a way, administrative. It's about getting things ready and getting things set up so that you can proceed well with the rest of the semester. So we really have 8 weeks of content, and then most people are on their ED or on their 5013 placement. And then you come back and your final assessment target is due a couple of weeks later or a week later. So in order for these coming weeks to go well, there's a bit of administration that needs to happen. And I would say that the key bits of administration have been around the site of integration, 8 walks, and the portfolio of practice. So just a reminder, if you go into the assessment tile and scroll towards the bottom, this is where the information is kept for those 3 key concepts in the subject. So I've scrolled under assignment number 3, then I've got information about the portfolio of practice, site of integration, 8 walks, and there will also be information about Canva once we begin to have some tutorials around it. So I will provide some explicit teaching around Canva, and the videos will go into that section there. So just a reminder that these areas are here, and they are important because those 3 concepts do matter. I had an email sort of requesting a bit of unpacking of them and I suppose restitching them together, so how they fit into the subject. And it was a really great email, and I've got permission from the student to add the questions anonymized into the assessment forum. So I'll be putting those up over the next couple of days, and I think you'll find them helpful. It's just about how to understand how these 3 things to come together to help you across the whole semester. So that'll be coming. So the first part of this review was just a reminder where those bits of information are. If I now go back into module 1, where this is sort of where the grunt work happened in the first week. And there are 2 things I'd really like to talk about. The first is going to be the portfolio of practice. So if I scroll down to the pre-tutorial learning, which going forward is going to be known as foundational learning, see the other video that I posted recently. And when you go down to activity number 5, to the portfolio of practice, this was about setting yourselves up. So signing up to Canva, which is going to be the digital space where we do lots of our work this semester. So signing up to Canva, downloading the template from Canva, and saving your own version of it. Lots and lots of you have done that already, and this is great. It's sort of getting over this, not insignificant technological and administrative hurdle. Once you've got that done, you're ready to go. So that was good. The other thing that I asked you to do, and if you go into module 1 and then scroll down to the tutorial activities, which will be called consolidation learning as of week 2, there was this section here, uploading your POP. And this was about uploading your POP into the portal on the LMS, which is, if you go into the assessment tile, scroll down to where the portfolio of practice is, and there's this link here that says uploading your POP to the portal. What that means is that you upload your POP in a particular format. So when you watch the how-to video, it'll show you what to do. And it means that you and me can access your POP. No one else can access it because it's sort of submitting it to an assessment portal, but we're not using it as an assessment in this in this particular circumstance. And it means that you and me can have conversations about your POP, and I can provide you with formative feedback and feed forward if you so wish. So lots of you have already done that. I'm getting all these notifications saying, such and such a student has uploaded to the portal, which is absolutely excellent. I'm not going to click on the link right now, because if I click on the link, it'll show all the names of people that have uploaded, and I don't want anyone to feel under pressure. But I can assure you, if I now click on that link, I can see tens of them in there, which is great. Going forward with this, I'll be sending out a message a little bit later on in week 2 that is another video tutorial that shows you how to go into your POP in Canva and how to set the share settings in it so that I can have access to your POP, so that I can comment on it, not so that I can edit it, that's your business, but so that I can comment on it. So if you wish to have some sort of conversations with me, and to garner some feedback or feed forward or some ideas, I can then go into your POP via the portal that you've already uploaded to, and I can actually leave comments on the individual components of it. So it's a interactive sort of one-on-one way of engaging with your POP. Your POP is really useful. One of the really great questions I had was, really what's the purpose of the POP? And if you go into assignment number 2 and assignment number 3, both of them mention quite explicitly how you use the POP in the submission, as does the rubric. And you also, in some way, use your POP. Well, you do. You use your POP for assignment 1, because you submit the answers to your 5 questions to it. So the POP is really important. It's your reflective journal. It's your sort of visual journal, and it's where you present really your workings and your research that sit behind the assignments that you complete for the task. So congratulations on doing that work on the POP. It's really important. Once you've got it in Canva, you can play around with it as you want. So the template that I've given you is not the only way to understand the POP. It was just so that you could get it going without the cognitive load of having to work out how to create one. You've been able to just download one. Now you can go in and play with it. So that's been a real success. Well done. The other success is the Padlet. And this is the other thing that I would like to draw your attention to. So in a number of the activities, certainly in what were called the tutorial activities, but are now going to be called consolidation activities, the activities centered around uploading to the Padlet. So I'm just going to jump into the Padlet so you can see it in full. And you can see if I scroll through it, there's so much going on already. You could even argue there's so much going on that there's too much going on, and that you don't want to engage with it. Well, I do want you to engage with it because it's a really cool tool to understand collaboration, and also to find out what your peers are thinking and how they're traveling through the subject. So what I've done is I've set up tags in the Padlet so you can search. So if you go up to the search function here, the magnifying glass, and click on that, if you then click on the filter icon, which is this, sort of looks like a funnel, this will give you some tags that you can use, or context that you can use. So what you can do is you can use the post status. Probably not that exciting, won't get you very far. But here, the tags that we use to tag our posts are going to be really helpful. Excuse me. So I know that loads of business cards have come in. So if I click on business card, it's then going to only show me the business card. So you can scroll through, you can see everybody's business card. I really encourage you to leave a comment. You can see that I've gone in and left a comment, some shorter than others, some longer than others. I will even out the feedback across the semester on the Padlets. And you can see that other peers are commenting on peers work as well, which is excellent. Excellent. This is what we want. This is our sort of our living collaborative community of practice. So that's me seeing all of the business cards. If I wanted to change that, I can go in and I can untick business card and I can say go to the critical self-reflection. So the critical self-reflections, which by the way are totally blowing me away, are by very nature a little bit longer as posts because they involve some fairly sort of, deep and meaningful thinking. Do just want to quickly show you this one here. I'm not going to click on it to open it directly, but here Bridie has included, she's actually taken a screenshot of the slide on their Padlet that represents the critical self-reflection commentary. That's a really great way of doing it. I'm also going to be encouraging everybody to do that sort of thing for some of the activities going forward. For instance, in week 2, you're going to be submitting an example of immediate artwork that you found and also a quick overview of Wk4. So that might be a good way to do it. That said, those of you that have put the text in, it's absolutely not a problem. It's brilliant reading it. And with this search function, it makes it very, far more digestible and not sort of an overload. So why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because the Padlet is really important. We're only going to have one Padlet. In the past, I've had a Padlet for each activity, and it's 100% pointless because you just get lost. This time, we're going to have one Padlet with multiple tags so you can go in and search it. And it's really just this sort of burgeoning community of practice. It allows us to develop relationality. It allows us to see how people are progressing and to share successes and perhaps moments where things are a bit more challenging. And it's what we do as teachers. It's a cool little platform, and it stitches together really, really well our asynchronous colleagues, our online colleagues, and our face-to-face colleagues. So that's an important aspect of the subject to date that I wanted to bring you up to speed on. I think it's really good, so please make use of it. If you don't want to go in and think, I can't remember what activity the Padlet's in, I have embedded it into the panel on the right as well. So where I've got this red button here, if the panel isn't open, click on that and this panel opens up for you. And if you scroll down a little bit, there's a QR code. It's called the 5020 Padlet, and that'll give you direct access into the Padlet. The other thing I'll do, actually, now that I'm looking at it, I'll also put the link underneath it so you can access it via your device. Obviously, at the moment, you need to take a photograph of the Padlet and it'll open up on your phone, but I'll put the link down there as well so you can open it up on your laptop or your computer. So I know, as I said at the very beginning, I know it's been really busy, and I know that you're probably trying to map it all out and thinking, how do these things come together? You will begin to see in week 2 that they do come together. If you've got questions about them, ask me, send me an email. If it's a kind of post that you're happy for everybody to read on the LMS, post on the LMS. And you'll see that they all begin to align. You've got to just trust the method in my madness a little bit. Know that sitting in that liminal space is really important for this. You're not going to know the answers now. For most of us, we're in a very new space in terms of content and thinking, especially around indigenous epistemologies and ontologies. I don't expect anyone to be able to rattle that off the top of just rattle it off right now. By the time you get to week 8, and then by the time you come back from your placement, you'll have a much better grasp of it and confidence with it. So trust the process, go with the flow, keep on refining your work, refining your answers to assignment number 1. You've got until the 17th, to keep on dipping in and out of that particular part of your POP. In week 2, as I said, the focus is media arts. The tutorial focuses on explicit teaching of how to create a mini documentary using Canva. For some of you, it'll be, it already, but for some of you, it'll be new. I'm going to record that aspect of the tutorial because it's new knowledge, and so that's okay, and that'll be available to everybody. Had a great request from Alex for an additional tutorial. Literally the only time left in the whole of the MTeach timetable is, I think, 4 o'clock on a Monday, I think I said. So I'm waiting for that to be approved by the Associate Dean Learning and Teaching, and then I will add it. Of course, there won't be a tutorial at that time on week 2 because of the public holiday. The Tuesday tutorial does go ahead. But remember that it's going to be me explicitly modeling. So it'll be, if you can't turn up to it, that's fine, because the recording will be put up. As of week 3, we'll have the additional tutorial. It'll be an allocate, so you can sign up. If for any reason the allocate bit doesn't work, it doesn't matter. I'll put the link up and you can just access it. So that's all I wanted to say, everybody. Like, as I think I've said to quite a few of you, it really is one of my most favorite subjects that I've ever been involved in, and I'm really passionate about it. And it's brilliant to see that passion coming back at me from you, and these aha moments already starting. So take advantage of the setup. Certainly, take advantage of being able to contact and ask questions and challenge knowledges and things like that. And I will do my very best to answer, and all within that context of where all of us are coming into country with a capital C, and all of us are coming alongside country, and learning from and with country and Aboriginal ontologies and epistemologies. All of it is us learning as adults andragogically, so that when we come to the point of designing learning adventures in assignment number 3, we know what we're talking about. Have a great rest of your long weekend, and I will see you in week 2.